So the one officer from Leamington, he was really upset. He all of a sudden he says to the other officer, he says, "That's it. We're here together. I'm going to tell you how much Kathy hates drugs and how much she has helped us." And so that officer said, "Well, we're gonna help you, Kathy. We're gonna strategize, and I'll get back to you and stuff like that." Well, I didn't hear him for months, so I got the information from Freedom Act to see what he had to say, and it was good. He said, "Oh yeah, Kathy's cooperative. We're gonna help her. We're going to, help her strategize that." To this day, I still have not heard from him.
So after 2016, as time went on, did the harassment from now? I forgot to put this in there. We're speaking about which town is this all happening in?
Leamington, Ontario.
Leamington, Ontario, Canada. So after the 2016 incident, did the harassment from the town, and like when you say the town, like who was doing these things? Was it the OPP? Was it the EMS?
It was everybody. Like I would get my ambulances sent away. Police would tell my staff that it's Kathy's problem, or they tell me I would have to wait till something happens, and I would say, well, that's not fair, so I have to wait till my staff or that person or another person gets hurt. And the thing is, I'm supposed to be a care facility, and they weren't supposed to send my ambulances away when I'm trying to get help when somebody's in a psychosis and stuff like that.
Right, because a lot of the people you dealt with at that particular business we're speaking about had mental illness.
Yes.
And they lose control and possibly hurt themselves, if not others.
Yep.
So the OPP were turning your ambulances away?
Yeah. And the EMS, and when they come in, I had a couple times my staff would call me, "Kathy, I'm in the nurse's station. They're going to arrest me because they are so ignorant," or they would call me, they'd be crying because of how they were being treated, my staff, talked to and that. And that's not fair. It's not an easy job to look after that type of residents.
Correct. So was there anybody during this time, like while this harassment or before, that had your back in this?
Yes.
And who was that?
Carrie Ferguson and Pat Taylor before her. They would try to,
What were their roles? What were they?
They were actually the head. Like for a long time, it was only Pat Taylor, just her, and then it was Carrie, and she was there for a long time. And then they hired They hired I think Kathy Wazinski next, and then in January of 18, they hired a Jeannie Diamond, and that's when all things really went south. Even before that.
You said that it started in 2016?
May, yeah.
In May. And then it ramped up in 2020. What happened in 2020?
No, it ramped up in 17.
Oh, okay.
2017, about September, I think it was. We had a meeting next door with a funeral home. And I didn't even tell them I was a Reed before. And so anyways, there is the owners, and then there is Stuart Burgers from the police department, then there was John Hammond from the fire department, you had Peter Newfield, you had 3 of the county girls sitting there, and you had a neighbor that lived across the street from us. And she even said, I've never had a problem with them, with the lodge at all. She lived there for years. In fact, they would look after her. If anybody was around her property, they would shoo them away. So anyways, in the meeting, he's yelling at me, telling me, like they find needles and condoms all the way around the building. And I said, my people don't even know what a condom is. And the thing is that as far as needles, we were doing harm reduction, which I never ever wanted to. They wanted us to county wanted us to put, sharp containers in the bathrooms, sharp containers in their bedrooms, and I never wanted to do that because when you look after people with severe mental illness, a concurrent diagnosis, you can't hand them a clean needle and a clean pipe. It doesn't work. It triggers them 100 times more than somebody out in the community struggling, like in their own home. Like these ones, they can't live on their own. So when they ended up pulling the funding, I got rid of it, and we never had the problems that we had. I don't get it, like I'm trying to keep them clean, and then they want to come and bring clean needles and crack pipes to the home. I don't get it, and then I get in trouble because they're not being clean. It doesn't make sense.